What's up, Victoria? It's Victoria, and today we're going to play with some new makeup, kind of specifically to touch on things that people had questions about. I'm going to start with this. This isn't new. Someone had suggested, I think it was Rebecca had suggested, putting this on its side to try to get the remnants of like the last bit of product out. This is the Lawless Forget the Filler in the shade Nudie. So let's start with a primer today. I just did my skincare, so I don't really need to prime. I think you might be interested in this, maybe. I bought something from Beautylish and they gave me a sample. I don't know if we would consider this a deluxe size sample of the DANESSA MYRICKS Yummy Skin Glow Serum, and this is in the shade Main Squeeze. This is obviously not a new product to like the market or anything like that, but it is a new product to me. I feel like I remember people saying that this had like a distinct scent. So there it is. It's pretty fluid, which I was actually kind of surprised by. And while the shade looks like it could be potentially too dark, this is really sheer and kind of reminds me of the Victoria Beckham in the shade Golden, as far as like it having that golden color, but it also not really reading as like golden or like deepening my skin or in any way. I am not a huge fan of the brand DANESSA MYRICKS, specifically because of how they've handled their Pride releases the last couple of years. There's no word, as far as I know, as far as like what they're doing this year, but every year they seem to make the same mistakes, and I'm kind of like sick of it. Also, the releases that they do for Pride are also always kind of terrible, just the product themselves. But I would say I have mostly not loved the things from DANESSA MYRICKS I've tried. I think I really only truly hated the contour balm, and everything else has just either been like fine or like not great. So I don't really feel like I'm missing out from the brand, but I actually quite like this. It's very hydrating. It looks really good. I wouldn't buy a full one because I'm not really like boycotting DANESSA MYRICKS. If the brand releases something that I find undeniably innovative and interesting, sure. I know a lot of people just inherently find what DANESSA MYRICKS' brand puts out to be interesting because, I don't know, but I find a lot of what she makes to be not very consumer friendly. Sorry, I was just thinking about a product launch that I'm going to have to talk about in Critical Sass. I'm already annoyed. I'm already annoyed by the excuses that will be made for that launch. Anyway, we'll see. Critical Sass will probably be in mid-June, the next one I do. If you happen to be new to here, if you happen to be new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you watch my videos and you haven't yet subscribed, like if you watched more than one of my videos, I would please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 10,000 before the end of June and I'm about 500 away. I think it's doable, but I never really ask at the top of my videos, so I need to start remembering to do that. But I do want to hit 10,000 by the end of June, and there's a couple of ways you could help. 1, subscribe if you are not already subscribed. 2, share my content. When irrelevant, when you see fit, whenever you think it's worth sharing, that would be helpful to me. Yeah, those are the 2 things that you could do. Just subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and then share my content. We're gonna try to do it. Let's try something. Let's try doing a little bit of something that might bring some joy to me. And then I can try clam chowder. What is this all for? Me trying clam chowder, right? Okay, let's talk about the next product. I'm already exasperated about this next product because I posted a short and a reel and an Instagram and a TikTok, but it's all the same content. And okay, talking about SPF on the internet is I never want to do it. I don't want to do it because it always seems to really aggravate people, and it gets people to tell people what's wrong and what's right and what's wrong, what's right. Okay. So here's what I'm going to tell you. This product has SPF in it. The brand is trying to sell it as an SPF product, like to be your sunscreen for your face. That is not the way that I will use this product. It is not the way that I will be testing this product. Hopefully someone else will do that and for you, but like, it's not going to be me. I'm not going to do it. I just wouldn't wear this product this way. I view any complexion product that has SPF in it to be an additional SPF, an additional bonus SPF to what I already have on my face when it comes to an SPF. Merit did send over their new product, the Uniform. I do not really love the way that they're marketing this. They're really kind of trying to sell it as like your be-all end-all SPF for your face, which I don't agree with. Now, a lot of people have asked me to put on a full amount of this, so I put on a full 2 fingers worth, and here's what it looked like. If you want to see the application process, head over to my Instagram. If you go to the highlights, there's a Merit tint highlight, and that is where you can find the entire application of the 2 fingers and see how it lays and whatever. So if you want to see that, that's where you have to find it. What I'm going to be doing in this video is apply it the way that I like to apply it. I've done some testing with it. I have worn it over top of this from In Beauty Project. This is also a zinc oxide sunscreen, and I put the full 2 fingers of this on. I waited a little bit and then applied what I wanted of the Merit product, and it worked really beautifully. So it does work well over top of other SPFs if you are like me, want to wear a different SPF underneath. So that's the one that I use underneath it. So it's just this, it's the same kind. I got the shade 30. This was sent in PR. They do send like swatches, like kind of, so you can try to figure out what shade would work best for you whenever you get PR in complexion. Some brands do that. Some brands might just send you like a couple light options, but like you got to like pick the one. So the way that Merit had recommended this, like the way they've broken it down, the shade Silk, which is I think my best match in their complexion stick, should use the next shade up, which I don't know if it's 29 or if it's 28. The numbering mechanism is opposite of what is typical. I know that some other brands do this as well, but like this is shade 30, but it's the highest number. And the reason I chose this over the shade they recommended for Silk, which is just the next deeper shade, is that the undertone looked really warm, and something that I think I saw Nicolette Panisi, is how you say her name? She had pointed out that there are 4 shades recommended for the next shade up. There are 2 shades recommended for this, but that shade is the only shade that has 4 different complexion colors from their complexion stick recommended to that one shade, and the rest of them all have 2 recommendations. There are 15 shades of this. I'll put the price on the screen, but I think I heard someone say that it was like 30 some odd dollars. You get 1.7 ounces of this, so 50 mil. It's made in the USA for what that's worth to you. I'm gonna apply a little bit of this, and 30 seems to be a good match for me. I do think if I went to the next shade, I don't think that it would work for me. So that's what it looks like. That's the consistency of it. Just like SPF, I find that the best way to apply this is with my fingers, because I would say that the texture of this is more a mineral SPF than a complexion product. You know, sometimes there's like a little bit of SPF in a product and you can still apply it with a brush. I wouldn't apply this with a brush. I did try applying it with a brush. It did not look very good. It does seem to need to be, well, I think it's because it's a sunscreen, to be worked into the skin. And I also don't know if like a sponge, like if you're using a damp sponge, would mess with the efficacy of this. I did try applying it with a sponge. I didn't really care for that either. So I'm just gonna put it on one half of my face. While this is a glowy primer, I think on top of my skincare, the finish is just about the same as what you're seeing here. And it is the kind of product that I think that immediately putting it on your face, it looks one way, and then after it's sat on your face for a little bit of time, I think it works a little bit better. Like you see, it just, I don't know, it looks better on the skin after it sits on it for a second. I think that SPF is that way. So this is what it looks like. It's only on this half of the face. It's incredibly light coverage. If you didn't watch my short or my reel or my whatever, if you didn't see that, I'm going to be reiterating stuff here that is from that. But my favorite thing about this product is that it is a tint. I feel like it doesn't change my skin drastically. Like, I think it still looks like my skin. Even when I applied the full amount, it was a little more coverage than I probably would want from a skin tint, but it like still wasn't like all of these products that are coming out that are like called skin tints that have medium coverage. It is like truly light coverage. You could still see a little bit of redness and my moles through it and some of like the breakouts that I've have right now, but I do think it blurs a little bit. I think it's pretty good as a complexion product, removing the SPF aspect of it. I don't want to try to tell you what's best for you when it comes to the SPF of it all, other than I think you should be wearing SPF, and I think you should be wearing the appropriate SPF. It's kind of product that like blurs the line of sunscreen and complexion product. My ongoing way that I approach them every time I interact with one is that that's an added bonus. That is not the feature. I would never just be like, this is my sunscreen. I think that the marketing of this, like saying to apply it like that and using this product like that, I don't know, like it's just like, it's not how I would approach it. That's not how I would market it. Like, if there was a non-SPF version, I prefer that. Like I would prefer that, because I just think like leave the SPF out of complexion products. But there are people in the world, and I've gotten this feedback before when this topic has come up, that sometimes they're like lazy. They only really want to throw that on. I think this looks good by itself. I don't think that it has so much coverage that you would need to put like blush or anything on top of it. So if that's where you're at and that's what you're looking for, this might be a good option for you, but that's not why I would buy it. So it all depends on what you're looking for. I don't know if I said it explicitly, but I think I did. Zinc oxide is the active ingredient in here, and it's a 45 SPF. I do think that this would be like obviously better for the daytime. They claim that there is no white cast. I find that for me, I don't know that I'm ever the one who can really like attest to those kinds of claims because I'm so fair. A white cast on me is like still kind of my skin tone. It's just kind of is still kind of my skin tone. You might think that this might look a little too light for me, but again, like I said, if you leave it sit for a second, it becomes a little more one with the skin. I'm going to be doing a full face of makeup, and I typically, if I am working with a complexion product that is a little off, I prefer it to be a little bit lighter because I wear bronzer and stuff, and like that normally like brings it all in. I know that some people prefer it the opposite way. That's just like a personal preference thing. So I'm not saying anyone's wrong. That's just, I think it matches me better than the other one would for sure. So here's what the finish looks like. I like this. However, you have to make the decisions that you have to make. All I am doing is I am showing you what the product looks like on my face. I'm not telling you that this is the best SPF. I'm not telling you that it's the worst SPF. I'm just telling you that I'm not using it as my SPF. Another thing that happens with sunscreen, there's like demonization of chemical sunscreen. I actually tend to prefer a chemical sunscreen if I am wearing sunscreen. I find that it wears better on my skin. I find that it melts into my skin better. I like the texture of a lot of chemical SPFs more than I like mineral SPFs. I don't make a stink about it because I can wear either, but also it's just like, I feel like there's a lot of demonization when it comes to sunscreen. And I just really hate that. It's like, I think if people are wearing sunscreen, hopefully they're wearing the right amount. But if they're wearing sunscreen at all, I do take it as a bit of a win. I also feel like whenever people are trying to like redirect and inform people like how much SPF someone has to wear, people get very smarty pants about it. And it's just like, person just might not have known. They just might not have known. And all I know about me is if someone tells me something and it feels like they were coming off even the slightest bit cross or smarty pants about it, I'm never gonna do the thing that they told me to do, even if they are right, because I'm stubborn. So sometimes that messaging doesn't get across. I know that that whole section kind of came across exasperated, but like that is how it feels. Like, I don't know, that's how it feels to talk about a product like this. But all I do know is that this is what this looks like on my face. I want to talk about this. So this is that Hourglass concealer that I tried in that one video against another concealer, which I think I put it on with the Sarah Creel concealer. So I've used this a couple of times, and this is part of a shade range extension. Whenever I was linking, I saw a lot more shades in this concealer than they used to have. Looks like they were filling gaps in undertone, which it was so funny because I think in a video not that long ago, I talked about how Hourglass sucks at undertones. Like they just like kind of never get it right. And I think that they're making an effort. I don't want to give Hourglass too much credit. I just saw Teresa talk about this, and I think I heard that someone else did this already. But like Hourglass, if you go to the Hourglass website, you can finally make a custom quad. And I mean custom, not just pick the outer packaging in a predetermined quad. Like I think you can actually like pick which powders you want to go in there, which I might do because I do like some of the Hourglass powders. I don't know, and I don't really like face palettes, but like I don't know. Wait, why do I want to do that? I don't want to do that. Anyway, it does seem like Hourglass is finally receiving feedback they've been getting for about a decade. So like they're a little bit slow. I'm not saying you have to forgive them for that or to start shopping from them because of that. But anyway, I'm just saying that it's a thing that I've noticed and I think it's kind of cool. This is in the shade Sand 1.45. They say on the website, like they said on Sephora, that this was like a light warm shade. And I guess it kind of is. It's more neutral than I feel like it is like warm. But I also feel like it's light enough that it just kind of works for me. Anyway, I've used this a couple of times and I'm so delighted to report that it's beautiful. And I did say in the first time I applied it, it's thick. So I'm going to do something that I like don't normally do, but I'm going to like just let this sit on my skin for a second. That's never been a technique I've used, but I tried it with this formula and it really did the trick and made it feel really magical. So I'm doing it again in this video. I'm going to wipe off the swatch. I'm going to let it sit for a second. That's like really pretty. It's like a really pretty, gorgeous, just makes my skin look really good. It's actually very high coverage, which is not even my favorite in a concealer, but there is something about like the finish, which is, I mean, I guess it's very Hourglass for the finish to be like that. Oftentimes my experience with complexion products from Hourglass has not been great. Like, I have not always loved the way they looked on my skin, but I have been enjoying the way that this one looks on my skin. We'll start with this side. Look at that. It was incredible. I was like really not expecting to like this concealer kind of like at all. After trying it some more times, I'm just like really digging like the look and the finish of it. Like, it's just so great. It takes a little more effort to blend out than my preferred concealers right now. Just like look at my, like just look at it. I'm just like sitting in silence. I love the way it looks. I mean, Hourglass, good on you extending the shade range. I've been pooping on this formula for a while. It's like, I think it's thick. I think it's gonna be bad. And then I tried it. Imagine trying something you've been talking shit on and it actually ends up being good. Probably like most of the things I talk about in Critical Sass. There are a lot of great products. There are a lot of good products. I'm not telling you that you need to run out and buy this Hourglass concealer at all. I'm just letting you know that my experience with it has been quite delightful. I've been really enjoying it. I'm gonna apply a little contour, a little bronzer, because I don't have really new ones about that. I'm gonna powder my face and we'll be back to talk about a blush. I haven't powdered yet. I have some bronzer and some contour on, just very lightly applied because I'm not trying to do anything like too intense with today's look. This is what, if you want to look up close at my skin, there's a zit there. But this is what the Merit complexion product looks like after it's been sitting on the face. I think whenever you first put it on, it looks really wet and slick. And then I think once it sits on your skin a little bit more, it matches your skin tone a little bit better. But I also think it blurs a little bit more. I don't know. This is something, there was another product that I used to use that was like this. It was a Dr. Jart product. And it was one of those complexion products that was like skin, like adapts to your skin shade. And it also kind of did that where you would first put it on and it kind of looked thick and wet. And I think there might have been SPF in that too. I might be wrong about that, but I'm fairly certain that there was SPF in that too. And then when you first put it on, it was like thick and gloopy and like didn't match. And then like once it sat on your skin for a second, it was like glorious. This very much has that kind of quality to it. So I really like, you know, I think the way, like if you look, there's no concealer on this part of my face. Like, I think it looks really good. Okay, now I'm going to powder my face so I can show you what it looks like powdered. I powdered a little too hard. There's some powder caught in my pores. Someone asked my thoughts on this next product, which I'm saving for another, like I was saving for another video, but the brand is having a sale this weekend because it's Memorial Day and I'm trying to have it up before all the sales are gone. So I hope this product isn't sold out for the person who wanted this and also anyone else who might be wondering my thoughts on this product as we are in sale season. There's another product I'm going to be featuring and I'm going to also talk about a sale, but there's no pressure to one, ever shop a sale from me, to use my affiliate links because there is a sale. Do what's best for you. Take care of yourself. I know there are a lot of sales right now. I have been inundated, and I have felt overwhelmed. I actually did buy some stuff this weekend for the channel. But stuff that I was planning on buying anyway for the channel. And I was like, I did make a purchase this weekend. Oh my God. It's like, I forgot how to film today. I feel so unconfident. Talking about this really took it out of me. I was like, I'm so scared to talk about this. Let's rewind. No pressure. You don't watch this video if you are trying to avoid sales. I'm not trying to push a sale on you, but I'm fairly certain that's why this person asked. And it's one of the Westman Atelier duos. I have done some short form with one of the other ones, but they specifically asked about Cocquette Mimi, which I do have, and I can answer your questions about it because I've been using these since I got them. I got them at the Sephora sale. I have firm thoughts on them. I was going to share them in a different video, and I still am going to do that video. That video, if you are a Victoria, a Hody, if you are familiar with my content, it'll be more clickbaity and trying to get some new people through the doors. That's going to be what this was for. And that's still going to happen. I'm going to do that video. It's just been taking me a minute. Okay, anyway, so this is Mimi Cocquette. Let's break everything down about this. So this is not like any other Westman Atelier product when it comes to packaging. It is very, very light compared to the other packaging. Here's another Westman Atelier product. This is their normal packaging. There's different colors of this type of packaging from Westman Atelier, but this is the usual packaging. Their setting powder comes in this, their bronzers come in this, their highlighters come in this. Everything has kind of always come in this. So whenever they announced that they were releasing powder blushes, because they also have the stick blushes, which are creams. This is Garcon. Very heavy, very luxe. Both of these, very heavy, very luxe. This is really light. So I think think this is a mini. It's a $75 mini, but I think that was the intention. You get 4.8 grams of product total. So that's not you get 4.8 grams each. So net weight, 0.17 ounces each, I think. So, sorry, it says grams but the grams is in French. So 4.8 grams each would make 9.6 grams of product. Potato me will interject if I am wrong about this. 9.6 grams, I mean, like, it is certainly less than 11 grams, but no, this is also not 70 some dollars. But I feel like whenever this came out, a lot of people were having issues with the amount of product. Okay, it's Potato Tom, but I'm here to try to reaffirm Tom in the past because I think I am right. Sephora's website does say that there's only 0.17 ounces of product or 4.8 grams total. But here's the box of the Westman Atelier product. So if you look, it says net weight 0.17 each, which would mean because there are 2 blushes in here that there would be double that amount of product, or if you're going off the grams, even though it is on the French side, 9.6 grams of product. At Sephora's website, and Sephora has historically misinformed on their website about some things, like the ingredients might not match up, the shade descriptions might not match based on the websites of the actual cosmetic company that sells that product. But also on the packaging here, it says the same thing that it says on the outer packaging. Of course, if people were going based off the net weight on the Sephora website, that wouldn't be infuriating if it was $75 for 4.8 grams, but I'm fairly certain that's per blush. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I did submit a chat on Westman Atelier's website. It's the weekend while I'm editing this, obviously because I'm trying to get it up before the end of Memorial Day weekend. Probably won't get an answer before this video goes live, but I think I am right. And if you think differently than me, then let me know in the comments why I'm stupid. I'm having a hard time with this video, as if you cannot if you cannot tell, please be kind. Chantecaille blush has 4 grams of product. It's 1 shade. But this was also probably the same price as this, but that would be still half the amount of product. So that would be like about one of these blushes. Sorry, now I'm curious. We're really kind of getting into it. We'll talk about this another time. This has 13 grams total of product. There's a lot of product in it though. So each one of these would be 6.5 grams. And each one of these would be 4 grams. I just remember a lot of people being appalled by the amount. I'm not here to protect the Westman Atelier brand. If you don't think that's enough product for the amount that you would have to spend on it, that's totally fine. I don't know that I feel that it is like an unjust amount. It feels like on par. If there was only 4 grams of product total, but it's saying 4 grams, almost 5 grams, 4.8 grams each, which would be 9.6 grams total. I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of like, it's seeming, after like kind of checking everything, a similar amount of product, even though there are 2. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I don't know shit about SPF, but I'm like, let's talk about grams. I think that this is meant to be like a travel product because it is really light. These are really heavy, and if you were traveling and you were taking these with you, like a bunch of these with you, it would add up quickly. Like if you were exclusively taking Westman Atelier traveling with you, it would add up fast. I think that this was meant to be like an easy breezy summer release. I was disappointed by the packaging too and the size of the product when I first saw it, right? Like you open it up, there's a lot of negative space in there. Like it's like, oh, it could have gone closer to the edge, etc., etc. But when I got it in my hands, I was a little more pleased with it. It's not cheap feeling, which I think is like what I thought and some other people might have thought whenever they first saw it, especially people who really like Westman Atelier, especially people who like Westman Atelier for the explicit experience of like having that heft. So, and it also being the same price as all of the heavier stuff, but being in like lesser, depending on how you view it, packaging. Some people prefer having lighter products, but it doesn't feel like, it's like it could, but I don't think it does. The top is metal, and the only reason I know that it's metal, it kind of feels almost like just smooth plastic, but if it's really cold in my room, this will be cold, very chilly, and then the parts will be like room temperature. It does add some niceness to it. And I'm always a fan of millennial pink, but that's just because I'm a millennial, I think. So this is Mimi and Cocquette. I was actually watching Sunshine, Everyday Sunshine. I will link her channel down below. I don't remember exactly which video she was talking about this in. She was talking about the differences in the colors here and like how stark they are. This is not one of the bronzer ones. These are technically two blushes. I don't know that I like completely agree with that because I think you can make a nice ombre effect. Obviously, it all depends on how you would use a product. Are you using them individually? Are you using them together? Okay, so I think another thing that I thought when it came to this, specifically this duo, like who is this a blush on? The shade Cocquette, because it looks in the pan like almost the same color as my skin tone, like same depth of tone, and it's not. So I will apply just Mimi to one side and then I will apply just Cocquette to the other side so you can see. So we'll start with Mimi. You may know that I have the cream version of Mimi. I will swatch compare, and I also have footage of me putting powder Mimi on one side and cream Mimi on the other side. And there is a little bit of a difference, but not as much as you might think because it looks absolutely just brown in the pan, maybe with a slight bit of rosiness. These are very pigmented, by the way, like incredibly pigmented, like surprisingly pigmented coming from the kind of brand that they come from. But they do blend out really beautifully. I think that they are pretty blurring too. A very nice matte formula, and they wear all day. I've never really had any fading with them. Really, really trustworthy. Really, I don't know. I really like this blush formula. It is matte. I don't know that it's like a blush formula that like screams like unique in any way. I think that they have some really good colors. As always, I hate that they're in duos. I would always prefer to have the opportunity to pick my blushes because in this duo, this is the video that I'm going to put them in. Like, spoiler alert is, I think it's going to be face palettes are a scam. Obviously, some people like face palettes. Obviously, anyway, I don't love duos like this. And that was going to be the whole thing, was like, this is how much I was going to really show you. And I walked the walk to pay the cost to buy the shades that I wanted, even though they weren't in the same palette. I'll apply Cocquette before getting out the other Mimi. What I've been doing with this duo in particular, I have been applying both blush shades every time I've worn it. I've been wearing Mimi a little bit lower, and I've been putting Cocquette on as kind of like a matte highlighter because it's a little bit light. But this actually like has some pigment to it, which is kind of unexpected. It's obviously much more subtle on my skin, or it's going to be much more subtle on anyone's skin because it is so fair. The thing about this that is kind of infuriating is like, there are people deeper than me that could use Mimi but wouldn't be really able to use Cocquette. Sunshine, I'm sorry, I do agree with you. Like, it is a little bit confusing in that aspect. I think they work together. So there's Cocquette. I'm gonna build it up. This one is harder to see, but it is like an orangey peach color. And then Mimi is kind of a rosy brown. Okay, let me get Mimi. I depotted Mimi into a pan, which I know sacrilegious. If you think about it, the things that the blushes come in are not airtight. So I was like, oh, it must not need to be airtight. They describe Mimi in the cream formula as a tawny beige. So that is the cream version of Mimi on top. And then that is powder Mimi on the bottom. So here's the footage of me putting them both on my face. Cream Mimi, powder Mimi. So cream Mimi, powder Mimi. They're pretty close. They're both on top of powder. I do think that there is a little more, I do feel as though there's a little more pinkiness in the cream shade. And it also looks that way in the pan too. They don't look very similar in the pan kind of at all. I do feel like on the face blended out, they look very similar. I don't feel as though that I would have to balance out this look. Like, I think it's okay. I think I can leave the house and no one will know that I have two blushes on. And I do think when they're like applied on the face with the amount that you would use, not like in a heavy swatch, they look closer. But I do ultimately think that the version in the cream is a little more rosy and I think a little more neutral. It is still warm, and if you were to put it up next to like a more cooler beige, you would notice that it's warm. But up against the powder version of Mimi, it does look a lot like this looks a lot warmer, the powder version. Face, I'm going to apply the ones to the side that I didn't apply it to. You follow me here. Now I have it applied. This is how I've been wearing it, kind of just like kind of a gradient up closer to my eye. So I think these are really beautiful. They are really pigmented. They blend really beautifully. They look really good on the skin. I think they add a lot of blur. I think there's a lot of good about them. Think about me as a consumer, right? When you're thinking about whether or not this product would be worth it to you. For me as a consumer, I have in the past spent this amount of money for one color blush. It might be the same amount of physical product, or maybe that product had a little bit more like actual like ounces or grams in it. And you might not be that type of consumer, which is totally fine, right? You might buy your stuff from the drugstore. So I will probably, like, if I didn't have a channel, I don't think I would have bought these. I might have bought one, but like, I don't know. Having 3 is a lot. Like, buying 3 of them was like way too much. I bought them to do that other video, not really to review these, but like also to kind of review these. You know, the review was coming so late, right? Like, these are not a new product anymore. Anyway, so like, I might have bought one. Do I think it's worth it? I think it's a beautiful product. I really do. The packaging isn't as good, and it is the same price as this, but this is also, you know, just one highlighter, and they're both $75. Right now, the 20% off would obviously make them a little bit cheaper. I think that would make it easier to stomach. I did buy these at the Sephora sale, but I'm only VIB, so there was only 15% off. So yeah, no, you're always going to have to be the person who decides whether or not you think it is worth it. I think it is a beautiful product. I don't regret buying them, but also they were purchased to do that other video for me. Like, that was the reason I bought them. I think they're beautiful. I think they work well. I have more feelings on them. Like, it's also kind of weird that we kind of gave up the ghost on them being refillable with this release, because like everything else Westman Atelier, well, not everything, but a lot of Westman Atelier's like face complexion products have been like, they were supposed to be refillable, and this one's the first one that's like not really. So that's really interesting, right? Like, it's just an interesting, I don't know, maybe somewhere down the line they will release them in this packaging, but I think this is like the way that they decided to do it, which is very annoying. To the person who requested that I talk about this or had questions about it, I hope I answered what you needed to have answered. If you didn't, let me know in the comments. I will try to clarify anything else. But yeah, I like them, but something that is important to me, obviously this would be personal to me as well. Whenever there's something in the testing drawer, how organically, on days where I'm not, you know, choosing to test things, how organically I go over to that testing drawer to pull stuff out, to where like on a day where I'm not filming, on a day where I'm not trying to see how a product works or anything, that's a pretty good indicator on whether or not I think the product is good. I would say that I don't really go to my testing drawer very often to pull these out. There have been other things in the testing drawer that I found much more enticing, like the Glaminatrix liquid blushes. I was picking those out a lot whenever they were in there together. I also more recently got some shades from Phytosurgeons that I've been enjoying and wanting to reach for more than these. That also is important to me. So like in that way, like I wouldn't buy them again, because like I'm not really reaching for them as it is. I think they are a beautiful product. I think they work really well. I think they do everything that they're supposed to, but like the allure of them isn't as strong as something like the Phytosurgeons blushes for me. And those are like around $20 US. I'm not really sure how much. The conversion rate will vary whenever you're buying from Phytosurgeons, because they are a Canadian brand. Oh, Tom, what is going on? You are having such issues talking today. I was like not meant to film today, I guess. But we're here. We are persisting. I want to put on the Green Goddess palette from bellabeautébar today. I was looking at all my new eyeshadow palettes. I just got their newest launch today in the mail. I don't know when that one launches. Okay, so I just wanted to like point out in this, if you were already planning on shopping Memorial Day weekend and you were looking for makeup and bellabeautébar has been on your list and you were already intending on making a purchase from bellabeautébar, they are doing a Memorial Day sale. It's 25% off. I don't know if this palette would be included. This is a newer launch from them, but I don't think it's their newest. I think that the new version of Smoky Glam is technically their newest. Check their website for details on what might be and might not be included in the sale. I'll put the code for the Memorial Day sale. That's not affiliated to me in the description box where this is located. That will be an affiliate link, just to be fully transparent with you. So I just wanted to make you aware while the sale's going on. bellabeautébar is a pricey indie brand, and so I just, wanted to like throw that out there. I love bellabeautébar. I will say that this palette and I have not really been connecting. It has nothing to do with the formula. Like, the formula is up to par, and the green shades have not been my favorite to work with, but these shades over here I've not really had any issues with, and the shimmers are beautiful as usual from bellabeautébar. But I want to just actually focus on the peachier shades because I have like a peachier cheek going on. Scoo Google fantasy. I did hand things and leg stuff. Do you guys, is that song on anyone else's TikTok, or am I just gay? Actually, I don't know. Is it actually a gay song? Who can be sure? Who can be sure? I never know. Sometimes you're just on TikTok and it's like, what is happening? But there was like a dance that someone who does adult content did a dance to. I don't know. I just found myself in such a strange... What is this? What is this video? I think the band is called CMAT. CMAT. And I don't know what the name of the song is. Google fantasy. I did like things. The way she says tings in one of them. But things in some of the other ones. Anyway, that's where my brain is. There's always a song stuck in my head. Today it's that one, but I don't even really know the words that well. I'm gonna put Cocquette on the eyes and have it kind of like blend into the eye look because I have a stronger cheek going on, and the eye is gonna be fairly simple. Okay, so now I'm going to use the shade right here, which is the shade Femininity. 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 I need to wash my brushes. I need to wash my brushes. Whoa, 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 whoa. You would think after that outbreak that I had, that breakout that I had, that I would pay more attention and be careful. And yet, look at that. That's so pretty. I really love coral sometimes. It's just I wear it so rarely. But it kind of looks great on my eyes, especially because my eyes are green. And then I'm going to take the shade Balance and just kind of put that on the lid. I don't think I finished the thought. I think I just haven't been connecting with this one because of the color story. I think it's a good color story. I don't know that it's a color story for me. But on the other hand, the one that they just sent also has like a kind of weird color story, but I'm like digging it more than I was digging this color story. Like I said, or like I've said in the past, I always think that bellabeautébar's strength is making very good color stories. Sometimes a color story is just like not as much for you as other color stories are. Something green heavy tends to not be my fave these days, but I still love some of the greens in here, like Earth Mother, which I'm gonna swatch for you because I just think it's such a cool shade. Sometimes I get a bellabeautébar palette in PR and it's like, I love that one shade. Look at that. Ugh. Yeah, but we're just kind of leaving it there for the eye look. Very simple. I am going to apply a new mascara. I think I've talked about this. I think I have. No, I definitely have. My Versus video recently, the dupe video. Why am I feeling like I didn't? Anyway, this is the Soshe mascara. They sent this to me in PR. You know what's so funny is Soshe sent out PR, and I think they were really smart because some people got lip stuff and some people got eye stuff. And I think that's smart because now everyone can talk about it and it's not like we're all talking about the same exact product. I think more brands should consider that. Obviously, as someone like bellabeautébar, like an indie brand, is really only going to have like one thing coming out at a time, so like everyone's going to talk about it at once, which I don't love. I've said that historically. So this is a tubing mascara. This is their waterproof tubing mascara. The waterproof aspect I said before, but I still kind of to reiterate, I think it's just because it's a tubing mascara. Tubing mascaras tend to be pretty water resistant. So right now, I'm not loving this mascara, although it's applying really well right now. And so this is something I need to give some more time to see if it develops. It's one of those mascaras that like gets better over time. Sometimes it really wants to like clump up my lashes and make them look really poor, make them look bad. Sometimes you want to throw the word poor in because you're like, that's the right grammar. And then it's not. But then you just say, like, I have my poor eyelashes. Actually, now that it's on my eyes and now that I have you up close and now that I'm looking at it, it's like does all the bad things that a tubing mascara could do. Not like all the good things that a good mascara could do. Now, I have worn this out and about and it has not like smudged or flaked or anything, so I don't have that issue with it. I think it's like the brush and the formula. I tend to have more success and better application with drier formulas, and this just is kind of wet. It's like pretty wet. It's just like a very wet formula. And I don't love that. And this has happened before with this formula. It's on my eyelid. Most of the time I get it on my eyelid up here, but like it's so wet that it ends up being on like where like liner would go. Oh, I just realized that I wanted to put an eyeliner on. We'll have to talk about that another time. We're running out of time. Also, this mascara, when it dries and you try to flake it off, it doesn't. It just leaves a little black stain, which is so fun. And I love that. Yeah, so I'm not a fan of this mascara. I wouldn't recommend it. I'll circle back like after I've had it for a while. I'll keep using it. Right now, I'm not living, laughing, or loving it. It's just, I don't like the way it makes my lashes look. I don't like putting it on. Like I don't normally like putting on mascara. Not like the act of like actually having it on my eyes, but like the application process, I don't love applying mascara. Especially, I don't love applying mascara, and I don't love applying it on camera. I was just thinking about back in the old days, when I was posting on my channel in 2017, I like hated applying mascara, and I remember I used to like get the wand and I would like wipe off like all of the product. That might make this work better. There is just like a lot of product in this brush. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. There's just something not right. There's something not right. It's just gloopy, gloppy, gloopy. And I don't love it. I'll try that though. But I used to back in the day, like I would like almost get no mascara on my lashes because I would wipe it all off in the tube. I'm not that way anymore as much, but I think I might have to do it with that one to get it to do anything I want it to. Okay, so she also sent me this and we'll apply it today. It's their like eye brightening pencil. Yeah, eye brightener. Waterline eye brightener. That is mostly to this kind of product. I know a lot of makeup artists, like Victoria Beckham sells one of these. I had one from Makeup by Mario, I think, when I was at Sephora. I don't know why I bought that. Like, I'm trying to think back, but I declared it long ago. It's definitely like meant to like make you look more awake and your eyes look a little bit bigger. And I do have smaller eyes. I don't have the smallest eyes. Okay, there's mascara on this. I don't even know how that happened. Look. I normally apply this first. I did forget this time. That's so funny. Anyway, so like this is supposed to like make your eye look bigger, more awake. And I mean like, I only have it on this eye. I don't know. I guess I don't know what, I understand the desired effect. I don't know that the desired effect is an effect that I need. Like if I was gonna, I wouldn't put eyeliner there. And there also is something, and it happens with every single one of these I've tried, so this isn't like exclusive to the soshe one. It takes a second, like for like it just looks kind of chalky at first because of the color, I think. And then once like the moisture of your eyes like gets it to kind of like set into things, I think it looks better. I don't know. I guess I don't have the concern that this is supposed to solve the problem for. If you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you know that I will put black in there and I don't care that it makes my eyes look smaller because that's like the desired effect I want. It's like one of those things where just like, I wish I had the desire, I guess. Like, I don't know, but it's fine. It's fine. I haven't really checked the longevity of it, but it's also one of those things where it's like, if you look at the longevity of it, it's worn off a little. Like, how much do you notice that? I don't know. Anyway, do you use an eye brightening pencil? Is this something that you use? Let me know in the comments down below, like, what you would look for in it. And then that will also help me kind of like review this better, because this is just like not a step that I don't know. Like, I just put it on. It didn't feel like a life-changing moment for me, but also like, I guess I don't know. It kind of looks weird to me. I think whenever I've done this in the past, and this is also like just the case for this kind of product, it's like uncanny valley a little bit. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is about it that, I don't know. Like, maybe if I don't have any eyeshadow that's coming underneath my eyes today, maybe it would make more sense and I would like it more in that aspect, in that scenario. The true honesty is that these lip products are not going to go with this look, but that's okay. So let me see what the real name of them is. Okay, I don't know. Mob launched these new lip glosses, and I bought 2 of the 3 shades they launched. In a short, if you happen to see it when it still had the misinformation in it, I'm going to correct it here as well. I thought that the one shade was a collaboration with Not Another Hannah, and it isn't. And I kept saying that Diamond Star Halo was a collaboration with Not Another Hannah. It is not. I bought these because they looked like dupes to, or like not dupes, but like something similar to my favorite lip gloss, which is Metal from Isomea, the lip black. I use that a lot. You've seen it a lot on my channel, and I panned an entire tube of it. I've changed an entire one. In my short, you can go see if these are dupes. I will refer you to that. But the TLDR is like, they're not exactly the same, but they are very close. And I don't think they were really trying to dupe, but they're a very similar product. But there's a lot of differences as well. There's no lip plumping agent in this formula, which is going to be good news to some of you. And I guess I never really had an issue with the scent of the Isamaya lip lock, but these are scented just very faint sweetness to them. And that's kind of it. Like, it's very like standard lip gloss scent. It's not like, there's a slight vanilla-y kind of like sugary sweet scent. I do think it's a good alternative for people who did not want to buy the lip lock because of the lip plumper in it. Dark Star was a collaboration. That's this one right here with Jessica Hayes, MUA. That's her handle, but Jessica Hayes. And this one was the first one that I thought was like going to be a closer dupe to metal. It's too dark for it to be close to metal, and I don't have Black Veil from Isamaya, so it might be closer to that. I'm not gonna buy Black Veil to do a comparison, only because I spent so much money recently. I'm traveling soon and like a lot of money. I'm gonna swatch metal next to it just so you can see it on my hands, and I will also throw up some pictures of all three of these in a second so you can see them if you didn't catch them on my Instagram stories. Isamaya Metal Dark Star from Mob. And then while we have it on my hands, might as well. This is Diamond Star Halo. I think this looks closer to metal on the lips, but it doesn't have that gray bit. And this is much darker than metal is on the lips. That's the TLDR on the comparison. But I'm not going to put all three on my lips today. I'm just going to put... Well, I was wearing metal in my last video because someone did ask that. Sometimes I remember that a comment was asked while I'm filming instead of just replying to the comment. As usual with Mob, I have something to say about the packaging. So basically how these are packaged, there's like a plastic, basically how these are packaged, there's a cardboard tube that you slip, or that they slip into this, words. There's this plastic tube, and then this goes into like a paper tube. Okay, so here's why I don't love this. And it's actually an accessibility thing. Oh, I didn't mention, I meant to mention this. Sorry, quick back to this. This is a lot easier to open than other Westman Atelier packaging. I think I find Westman Atelier's regular compacts incredibly difficult to open. It's still smooth. It's still a smooth surface and it's pretty thin. So I don't think that it's super accessible overall, but it is easier for me to open than the other ones. Hopefully that will provide some information. It's just very smooth. There is like a ledge here that you can kind of get your finger in that's a lot bigger than the circular compacts, but it still requires a lot of pressure and making sure your fingers are in the right place. So if you don't have dexterity in your hands, it could be hard to open it and you might need something to assist you to open it. Back to the accessibility of the Mob lip glosses. So this requires grip to open. And of course, like all products require grip. If you are intending on keeping it in this plastic this plastic cover, paper cover. If you're trying to keep the paper cover on the plastic tube and you are trying to open it, it will keep spinning because you are the one who needs to apply the pressure to grip it, to twist it up. Meaning like if there's no pressure or light pressure on the paper tube, the outer paper tube, sometimes it will catch, but there are other times where I have, not really tried to hold on to it where it doesn't grip and it just keeps spinning and spinning. If you do have dexterity issues, you might want to have it like this. And there is a label on the tube, the plastic tube. Another thing I don't like about this, and this, I don't know if this would technically be an accessibility thing, but it's kind of aesthetic as well. Could you tell there's sparkle lip gloss in there? Now that we have this, and when it's in there, it's supposed to kind of give you a window, like there's a window, but like that looks like it's going to be like a cream white lip gloss or maybe a clear lip gloss. It technically is a clear lip gloss, but there's sparkle in it. And when you hold up the Isamaya lip lock, you can see that there's sparkle in it. You can tell there's sparkle in this just from the outer packaging, even though it's a clear gloss with some sparkle in it. If you buy both of these and you keep them stored, if they're like facing the wrong way, you're not going to be able to see into the tube. And also like, you can tell, right? But like also if your vision is impaired in any way and like these color, like obviously this one's lighter, but like maybe not obviously to some people. I think that this fits in their mascara forever component, but it's also like, it's not like these are cheap. I think these were $24. These are $24. If I did want to buy the mascara capsule, that's another $5. That would make it $29. That's a luxury lip gloss formula. I believe, I mean, not that this is super luxurious, it's plastic, but like this is $30. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I think I love that they are trying to be sustainable, but like, I think if it's coming at the cost of the consumer experience, then I think they have kind of failed. So I'll apply Dark Star first because I think that Diamond Star Halo will look better with this look. So I'll remove Dark Star and then apply. This way I'll just end up with the one that will look better with this look. So this is the applicator. I'm keeping both of these. I think I said that in my reckoning. I quite like these. So here's Dark Star. I love the way this looks. I love this kind of sparkly lip gloss thing. Like if I like the Isomaya one and I was looking for dupes of it, I think that, I mean, dupe doesn't always mean cheaper, by the way. I just like looking for a similar product. So I wasn't looking for a drugstore dupe. I was just like, oh, that's a similar thing. Anyway, here it is. I think it's really gorgeous. Now, I think because this one's darker, what happens is like whatever like the thing, that gray, dark gray pigment that's like kind of like running through it, that sheer gray pigment, as you wear it, it kind of gets pushed to the sides of your lip and there's just more of it there. It kind of looks like you're wearing a lip liner. That is kind of unfortunate to me. Like I would love a formula that would keep the gray consistent on all parts of my lips, but it does kind of like push that. It's not as bad as that black lip balm from Mob, but it does do that. So if you were like, I want it to be consistent all the way through, I don't think that it does that. But I was wearing this in that Reckoning video and it wore really beautifully. Something that can happen in a video where you're talking for a really long time is you get that kind of like white buildup in the center of your lips. That's kind of gross. And I think it was starting to do that, but it didn't fully do that, right? Like it looked a little crusty in the center of my lips. I just wiped the crust off and I kept doing it. Like I don't know at what point I did that, but it was like maybe 40 minutes into filming that video. I looked down and I noticed it. I didn't mention it whenever I was filming. I just like did it. I like cut that part out. They're really comfortable. I like them. It's a very like, you kind of can't feel it on your lips. There's another shade that has no sparkle in it. I wonder what that one feels like on the lip. People often ask when I try sparkly lip products, they're like, can you feel the glitter? I used to put glitter on my lips, like as an aesthetic choice. I don't think I'm as sensitive. It's weird what I am sensitive to and what I'm not. I don't think I'm sensitive to like the glitter feeling. I don't think I can feel chunks of glitter on my lips. I mean, it's not, whatever it is, it's not plastic glitter because it's Mob, but that's Dark Star. It's so pretty. I would love to, I haven't done it yet, but I would love to put it over top of like a lipstick. There is some leftover glitter from Dark Star, but not any of the gray pigment. So here's Diamond Star Halo. Very pretty, very shiny. I don't know if it's like catching on camera how sparkly it is. Sometimes it will, sometimes it doesn't. Like whenever I wear like, this happens with metal too, where it's like, it doesn't look as special on camera as it looks in real life. There's so much glitter in here. It's so beautiful, so gorgeous. I think that they're very similar. So if you like didn't want to buy from Isomaya for whatever reason and you're okay buying from Mob, then I think these are really gorgeous. You know, they're different colors, so they are different enough that if you were like, oh, is it actually different enough from metal for me to want to buy it? I think that you could make the argument. Maybe not Diamond Star Halo, because I think it is a lot closer once it's on the lips to metal. It just doesn't have that gray in it. But also if that gray was deterring you from buying metal for some whatever reason, then like maybe Diamond Star Halo would be a better option for you. I like both formulas. I'm happy to have all three. I don't regret it. And like if they make more sparkly lip glosses like this in the future, I would absolutely be intrigued. Although I have a lot of lip products right now, so I'm gonna cool it. I'm gonna cool it on lip products for a while, unless they come in PR. And besides, like something else. Anyway, more on the something else at a different time. I've been thinking about this the whole time I've been filming. I hope that you don't think that I was trying to come across like cross whenever I was talking about the Merit complexion product, the Merit, the uniform product. It just is really hard to navigate speaking about it because I think everyone wants something different from this or products like this where they want it to be like the answer and they want me to have the answer that they want the answer to. I don't know, like that I'm supposed to like know everything, and there are going to be some limitations limitations to my knowledge whenever it comes to like sunscreen and other things. And of course, there's always room to learn. I just find that conversations about sunscreen in products just to be pretty intense online. And I just don't want us to be intense in my comment section about this, because like I said earlier, I think it can sometimes deter people from wanting to use SPF at all. And of course, that's not what I want to happen. I want people to use SPF. I do want people to use the right amount. Sometimes we just need to like do what we're doing and like let the other people do what they're doing. So like in my case, I'm only going to use this as a complexion product. I'm never going to rely on this as my SPF. And that's how I'm going to go about using it. And that's how I'm going to go about reviewing it too. I do like this. I don't know that I would have buy this. Like I got this in PR, but like I think it's good, and I like that it's a tint, and I like that it's more of a tint than other things that I have tried recently that have claimed to be a tint. But I also like, I don't want an SPF in my tint personally. Like I don't need that, because I have this and it doesn't have SPF in it, and I can wear SPFs underneath it. This has worked with any SPF I've used underneath it, and I don't have to worry about SPFs clashing or whatever, because I don't want to wear as much of this to get the SPF. So, you know, I think it's good, but it depends on what you're looking for. I don't know. We'll see how I feel, like if I end up keeping it, like if this ends up being like a product I want to keep. But I like interacting with it so far in the capacity of like the way that I'm using it. The Hourglass concealer, look. I mean, it's caught in the fold a little, look up, but also it looks great. I don't think this is the perfect shade for me. Now that it's blended out and it's been sitting on my face, it looks a little yellow. Like it looks a little not the color of the rest of my face, but I like it. I think the formula is really nice. This might be something that I like keep testing and then be like, formula is really nice, not the right color. I have so many concealers right now that I wouldn't go out and buy myself like the quote unquote correct color, because I can find this a new home. And I mean, I'll use up this sample of this, and that will be a nice way to add an empty in at the end of the year. But it's like, I wouldn't go out of my way to buy it. It's good. I hope I was able to provide enough information about this for you to make a decision on it, person who asked me specifically, and also anyone else who was interested on my thoughts on it. I like this product. I don't know that I love it. I don't know that I would, you know, go out of my way to buy more, other than the fact that I have more of them, but they were purchased for a video. This is where that like fine line of being a content creator and also a consumer comes into play, where it's like, this was a channel purchase for sure. And like, I might have bought one with like, if just out of curiosity, but I'm making a point. I bought more to make a point. Oh, bellabeautébar. So lovely. Always lovely. Always lovely. I love bellabeautébar. I don't love this palette, but that's more of like a color story thing, not really anything that I'm having issues with as far as the formula goes. It's, you know, it's bellabeautébar formula. It performs the way I expected it to. Bad mascara. Don't like the mascara. I'll keep tabs on it, see if it gets better. Hashtag it gets better. Do you remember it gets better? And they lied. And they lied. The eyeliner pencil. I don't know. I've been different to that. It's not a product I would have bought. And then the Mob lip glosses. Favorite thing. Oh, well, I don't know. The Hourglass concealer. The lip glosses and the Hourglass concealer are my favorite things I put on my face today. These I really like, but that's because I like really glittery lip gloss, and that's what I'm into. So, of course. But of course, I like the formula. Everything about them is really great other than the packaging. Like, I hate that. I hate that. I really hate it. I don't know what they're doing. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how this is the right thing. I also hate that they are opaque plastic. Like, you can't even see how good this lip gloss looks. Like, and then you like pull it out and you're like, oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. Oh my God, I didn't even tell you about this. If I would put it on my face, it wouldn't match. But I bought Courtney's lipstick with, well, one. Does Courtney have more than one lipstick with Mob? I can't keep up. But it's the shade M148. Oh, and I think Dark Star would look so good on that. I know they contour with it, so I'll have to try it. Although I don't love the packaging of the lipstick, I can deal with the packaging of the lipstick. But like, this, I do think this is my favorite lipstick formula. Oh no, I still need to test it. I mean, it's gonna make it into a perfect collection. Again, I need to really cool my jets on lip products. I have so many lip products. My video is already outdated testing all my lip products. It's already gone. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up the video. Well, it's not quite June as you see this, but in the month of June, I'm going to really wanting to support this local charity, which is called Sisters Pittsburgh. And what they do is they help trans people in Pittsburgh get the resources that they need, whether that's housing, hormones, clothing for interviews, just clothing in general. They are really a great resource for trans people in Pittsburgh. It's a Black-led organization and a trans-led organization. You know, Black trans women are some of the most oppressed people in our country. So I love that this is an organization that is specifically helping those people in need. So if you have extra money to donate to them, I would really love for you to donate to them. I will also continue to have the Palestine Child Relief Fund in the pinned comment as well. So they'll both be there, but because we're heading into Pride Month, I'm going to focus on my local organization. But obviously I still entirely believe that the Palestinians deserve their freedom and we should still be trying to help them as much as we can. It's been hard too because they've been blocking aid to Gaza. So I know that it feels like a fruitless task, but I still think we should be trying our best to help them in whatever ways we can by making calls, by donating to organizations who can get through. So that will always be down there. I'm going to shift the focus a little bit to my local organization helping fellow trans people. So it'll still be there, but you know, that's the one I will be focusing more on in June. And Critical Sass, I am planning on doing a donation. All of the funds from Critical Sass next month will also be going to Sisters Pittsburgh. So I'll be doing that. And then maybe we can do another donation fundraiser, because Critical Sass is the one that makes the most sense to do it on because it is the one that gets the most views. So I want to have the most people to have the most opportunity to raise funds for whatever charity I would be doing for. So we'll have to do another Critical Sass fundraiser later on in the year, I think, too. That's my plan. If you are new and you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. I promise I'm not that weird when it comes to complexion products. I mean, I'm picky, but like not the way that I talked about that is not how I talk about most complexion products. So I'd love for you to stick around. I like to focus on what's the best of the best and I want to curate my collection. And I don't think makeup loving means that makeup buying is makeup loving. So if you want to stick around, I would love to have you stick around. I already mentioned the pinned comment and those links down there and those organizations to support. I'm on Patreon and I have channel memberships. You can find those linked down below as well. If you are interested in supporting me further, there's no pressure to join Patreon or memberships. I'm really just happy that you're here watching, sharing my content. Let's get to 10K. Let's get me to 10K. I need your help to do that, but like, let's get to 10K. Let me get to 10K. I would appreciate your support in that as well. If you could share, like, you enjoy my content, share the joy of my content, share the joy of my joy. I would really appreciate it. And I'm now going to shut up. I've been filming for so long. I don't know what's been going on, but my filming sessions have for some reason gotten extremely long and the videos are still the same length at the end and I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I appreciate you all so much. Remember to follow your hope and you'll find me and I'll see you in a video very soon. Go forth. Tits out.